All right, we'll talk Kevin Durant in just a second. But first, Raptors-Bucks Game 4. Giannis going baseline for the thunderous one-handed slam.
So there's in the first few minutes of the game. Bucks jump out 12-5. Giannis has 3 dunks. Raptors call a quick timeout, and they really put the clamps on Giannis from that moment forward. At this point, it looked like it was going to be Game 2. Giannis snarling and stomping all over the court.
More from this one. Chris Middleton throwing the sweet one-handed pass to a wide-open Eric Bledsoe for the layup.
Oh, this is one of the few buckets, Eric Bledsoe.
Man.
Chris Middleton, great pass right there. He puts the little, this is the Chris Paul. The other English on it, little underspin on it.
Middleton was excellent. Bledsoe, tough series for him.
Finally, Marc Gasol finding Kawhi. Backdoor cut, and Kawhi rattles the rim over Giannis.
Listen, this is a great play by Kawhi. Raptors fans had to be anxious watching when he landed here and the way he was looking down at his legs. He did not appear to me, to be 100% yesterday.
No, definitely wasn't 100%, but this was a great job by Toronto, putting Gasol with the high post. He's known as an excellent passer. They got Kawhi a couple times backdoor and got him a couple easy looks.
All right, moving on to Kevin Durant now. While he continues to nurse that sore calf ahead of the NBA Finals, we continue to wonder where he'll be playing basketball next season. The Warriors owner, Joe Lacob, not wondering, says he's confident KD will re-sign next season. But according to a new report, the Clippers and the Knicks are now seen as equal threats to land Kevin Durant. KD's manager, Rich Kleiman, said absolutely no decision has yet to be made.
100% undecided, and I'm waiting on Kevin. You know, that's the truth. I think there's a feeling that this thing is like war games, and everybody's kind of like
playing a role.
Yeah, playing chess like years out. But when somebody gets to the level of basketball that he's at, you can't juggle focus like that. There's so many things he's juggling too. He's not scripting his future while he's playing the way he plays and practices the way he practices. He really doesn't know, and I really don't know.
Have our opinions changed with what we've seen and his injury and all of it on what the best option for Kevin Durant is next season?
Mine has not. And with respect to Rich Kleiman, who does great in the business world and has been a confidant and partner with KD for a long time, and Joe Lacob, who's proved himself to be one of the best owners in basketball, the hell are they supposed to say? What's Joe Lacob going to say? Listen, we know we're re-signing Clay. We don't know about Kevin. No, of course. He's going to say we're confident we're re-signing them both. And what's Rich Kleiman going to say on this Wall Street Journal sports panel? No, we know what we're doing, but we're not telling anybody. I mean, they're saying, what they have to say here. My opinion has not changed because I don't think any of Kevin Durant's plans have changed, which has been he was considering leaving Golden State last season. And it wasn't until the end of the year run that they were fully confident he was coming back a year ago. All year long, everything's been moving towards the New York Knicks. And if he wants his best chance to not only build his empire, but to separate himself from LeBron in hopes of passing LeBron, doing it by establishing your hub across the country as opposed to across the street from LeBron in Los Angeles is the smartest move. So, no, my opinion has not changed 1% that Kevin Durant's going to be a Knick next year.
So you think that he's got to go to New York compared to going to the Clippers?
Oh, yes, because much like LeBron going to the Lakers, I don't think it's just about basketball. I think it's about setting up your post-basketball empire in one of the biggest cities in the country. And LA's a big city, but LeBron's sucking up a lot of oxygen there as far as people that want to be involved with athlete-turned-mogul. They've got Magic Johnson there. You now have LeBron there. Kobe's there as well. Derek Jeter's no longer in New York. He's in Miami. There's a space for that in New York City.
I'm going to stay away from the business side because I don't necessarily agree with that. Okay. Because I believe that in LA, especially with the Clippers, if you win a championship, because also I do realize it's the Knicks. If I could pick, would I rather win a championship with the Knicks or with the Clippers? Of course. But I mean, man, this is about trying to win. And anywhere he goes and adds a championship, he's going to add to his legacy. You guys can argue about, who's going to make more money off the court. That don't mean nothing to me. This is about sports. It's a sports show. And I believe that right now, all these players realize how much winning has to do with it. And Kevin Durant, he has seen since he went down with that calf strain, they have not lost a game. They have not missed a beat. he's responding to people saying that, oh, if they win Kevin Durant's, his 2 other rings, they're going to be, you're going to have an asterisk on it and everything. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I believe the basketball is the most important part of it. And I believe that the Clippers are in the game. Doc Rivers, Jerry West, Steve Ballmer, they are in the game. And I think that series battle 4-2 against the Clippers, I believe it gave Kevin Durant, maybe a little more confidence that if I was able to join this crew of guys that we can get some stuff done.
Where do you think Kevin Durant has, if winning is really what's on his mind and his biggest priority in playing basketball, where do you think he's got the best chance to win?
Other than Golden State?
Other than Golden State.
Because obviously if it's just winning,
then he would stay where he is.
If it's just winning and if it's just money, he'd stay where he is. So which is why the fact that it's even on the board that he's leaving, to me, makes it pretty obvious that he's leaving, if that makes sense.
Sure.
Because the 2 things we hear people talk about, winning and money, Golden State can offer him the most money. It's the best chance to win. So it's about legacy components as well, even if we set the business part aside. I don't know that the Clippers are in a much better position moving forward than the Knicks, because the Knicks are a blank slate. The Knicks have 2 max cap spots and the ability to really be in the game for Anthony Davis. So now it's unlikely they would get Durant, a max free agent, and Anthony Davis, but to me it's very unlikely they would get Durant and neither of those other 2. It would be Durant plus Anthony Davis or Durant plus all-star level guard X, whether it's Kyrie, Kimba, Jimmy Butler. That makes you an instant contender. Is that a better spot than Durant plus what they already have in LA with the Clippers? Because they have less ability to easily sign another max guy. To me, it is. Is the East still an easier route than the West, even though we are seeing the East get stronger? To me, it is. And does New York City have an allure off the court different than Los Angeles? To me, it does. So for all those reasons, but even if we just want to talk with basketball, the Knicks with Kevin Durant plus an all-star are an instant championship contender.
Does that allure, though, affect his legacy? You think his legacy is affected by whatever decision he makes after Golden State?
Well, it depends on if he wins. Like his legacy, I mean, he doesn't want to leave with his legacy being Golden State, even if they three-peat. Kevin Durant with 3 championships, but they were in Golden State. He couldn't win without them. That's what the story will be. He wasn't a champion. He lost to them. He had them down 3-1. He had to be able to join them. And also, you have to realize, though, Draymond, Clay, Steph, they got 4. LeBron's got 3 championships. So you're keeping count of this, and I believe that Golden State and those initial 3 guys who were there, it means more to them because they were in the program, drafted by the program, cultivated by the Golden State Warriors.
And I understand that right now, all of a sudden, there seems to be some public momentum towards, well, maybe KD will stay. If that was on the board, I believe this calf strain and what has happened since then has removed it entirely. If KD had never gotten hurt, and he'd continued on this torrid pace he was on. He was averaging 39, 5, and 5 in the 8 games prior. And Steph, by the way, had been struggling somewhat during that same stretch. And they go on to win a championship. That validates the previous 2 years in a different way. Maybe not to the same degree as winning elsewhere, but it validates them in a different way. Like, guys, are we really, I'm averaging 40 points. I had a 50-point playoff game. I beat the Clippers essentially by myself. Like, what are we talking about here? But seeing what they did without him.
A sweep.
Even if he comes back and he's great in the finals, even if he wins another finals MVP, there will still be people saying, okay, but look what you did in the round. Were you a necessity or a luxury? The same way if LeBron had never won that championship in Cleveland. If Kyrie had missed and Steph had made, and LeBron had been to those 4 finals in Cleveland, but lost all 4, you know what people would say? Well, yeah, you've got 2 rings. You had to go to Miami to get them. You had to team up with Wade and Bosh. They would find a way to chip away at it. So for Durant, the only mountain left to climb is one that Golden State doesn't present. I think New York is the biggest and the most attractive mountain to him.
All right, coming up a little later, we'll talk about what KD's availability will be in the NBA Finals. But coming up next, is Big Ben's new attitude enough to get the Steelers back to the playoffs? That's next on First Things First.